Glory to Jesus Christ, from the visible to the invisible. If you observe the heavens, says Scripture, their order will be a guide for you towards faith. They do in fact reveal the artist who made them. If you then observe the beauty of the earth, it will help you to increase your faith. It is true that we have attained faith, not because we have succeeded in seeing God with our bodily eyes, but because we have seen Him with our minds, which perceive the invisible by means of the visible. Look at the stone and notice that even a stone carries some mark of the Creator. It is the same with an ant, a bee, a mosquito. The wisdom of the Creator is revealed in the smallest creatures. It is He who has spread out the heavens and laid out the immensity of the seas. It is He who also has made the tiny hollow shaft of the bee's sting. All the objects in the world are an invitation to faith, not unbelief. Saint Basil the Great on Psalm 32. My dear online parishioners, the name of the reading that we just heard from the book, from the command of Saint Basil the Great on Psalm 32, from the visible to the invisible. I chose that name in particular because our entire lives, every days of our lives, especially our Christian lives and our spiritual lives, are a passage or a path from visible to the invisible. And there are a lot of things that could be said about this passage, and if we listen to Saint Basil the Great, he admires God's creation, and it points him out to God, to the Creator. We use in the Church this passage from visible to the invisible in a very special way, in icons, in depictions of holiness, in the symbols of holiness. When you go to church, in many churches, in most of the churches, unfortunately there are some churches that have done away with icons and paintings and statues and other representations of holiness. But in most of the churches you will find these ways, I call them ways, or as some Eastern fathers call them, windows, icons. They're windows through which we see beyond the visible. They have a very specific role. They play the role to link us to the invisible. Can we see holiness? No. We can see it on an icon. Can we see divine beauty? Yes, we can see it in the creation, but that is inviting us. It opens up an icon into God's beauty. Can we see the great mysteries of the saints, their lives, their dedication? We can see them on the icons. We have to make good use of the icons, the ones that we have around our houses, like this one right here. But also, we have to use the iconicity. This is a term being used by theologians, that we find not only in icons. Icons are made by man, but we have to use the iconicity of the creation, because it points to something much broader, much bigger, something that lies beyond, and it is Creator of this world. Just as much as the icons are inviting us to get to know God, saints, Mother of God, they are inviting to get to know the Bible, the history of salvation. They're inviting us to point our lives towards salvation, inasmuch the iconicity of the world, the beauty, the complexity of the world around us plays the same role in our life. let's look around us and try to see God in creation. It is much more difficult, but when we look around into people that are surrounding us, especially look around your enemies and try to see God in them. Because there is iconicity in everything, because everything points to God. Glory to Jesus.